That's why we have those little tape guns, pricing guns. Boom, 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 boom. Did a little bit of research. Went out.
The only thing left are them 3 mixing bowls.
Yeah, I think we got about 2 of these already. See, they got one of these with the cross hatch on it. There's a bunch of lids under that table in there, but I don't know that any of them will fit that.
Yes, I should have just got it earlier and just put it on the whole table. I made up my mind on.
That's what they say, honey, when you're trying to decide on something. You must have found that snake. I heard shots going off. You must have found that snake.
Waiting on my husband to come out of there.
My weakness. There's one glove. Oh, my powder. That might have to come with me. Toaster cover, teapot cover. Look at these gloves. Oh wow, these are pretty. Good morning. Welcome to South Georgia Home. This is Saturday morning. Jason got up. He had a, what do you call it? He goes to a shooting range down in Tallahassee, and once a month they put on some kind of like course. Like a month or two ago he went and it was a zombie apocalypse course. So he's out of my hair for a few hours. I want to get this haul done before he does get back. And I'm really excited to give you this haul because I think it's really nice. If you saw the clips, that woman had an obsession with glass. Someone, I believe, said that she was a dealer. Not that kind of dealer. An antique dealer, or she had her own. If she had just a booth, she had a heck of a lot of inventory for one booth. I don't know if it was a whole store or what. Anyway, this woman had an obsession with depression glass. Now, I am not a big fan of depression glass. I don't buy a whole lot of it. It's just not my thing. You know, all the patterns are so intricate, and having to memorize which pattern is which, to know what company it made it, because different companies did make all that depression glass. And then if it's reproduction, because some of them were reproduced. So I try to tend to stay away from it. It's not my favorite thing. They didn't have any crock. Well, they did have like a crock whiskey jug. It was on the back porch. I think it was like $20. And this was, of course, Shorty has to get up and start walking around. He's been laying down, sleeping, minding his own business up until now. But anyway, it was in the garage. Now, we went on the second day. It was 25% off day. I don't think they go through every item and take 25% off. I think what he did is he looked at the bigger items that were priced and just charged me for like 2 or 3 items, and the rest of it was thrown in. I am happy with what I got. I hope to sell at least one thing. Maybe one thing will be for sale. They had 2 sheds. No, they had 3 sheds. One was a garden shed, one was a storage shed, and one was like a man shed where they kept tools and all that kind of stuff. And the funny thing was, and you'll hear me on one of the clips say this, they found a snake. My husband, being nosy, he was out there. One of the partners, there's 2 guys that put this on. One of the partners came. He isn't usually there on the second day, but he came to fix a lawnmower, to get a lawnmower running because we're going to try to sell it. And he was out there. My husband, he was out there exploring the shed. So he goes over and gonna, you know, because he used to work on tractors and he worked at a tractor dealership. So he's going to help him looking at his problem, right? And the guy makes the mistake of saying, "I've never seen a snake." In one of these sales, 10 years doing this, I've never found a snake. I pick up boards all the time trying to find a snake. I never found a snake. About that time, excuse me, my husband looks down and he said, if it hadn't been for the head, I probably could have said it was an old black snake, an old racer or rat snake or king snake or something. He said, when I saw the head move, I knew it was dangerous. He said the head was almost this big. And it was that triangle head with the heat-seeking pits up front. He said it was a moccasin, and it had freshly shed its skin. So he could barely see the pattern on it. He said, but it was a moccasin. So he jumped and swore some words that the preacher can't hear. And he told the guy, he said, you just had to say something, didn't you? You just had to say something. So the guy ran over to his truck and got a pistol, and he put that back, and he got a shotgun. By the time he got back over there, the snake had kind of crawled somewhere, and they couldn't find it. Jason makes his way inside the house, tells me all about it. Well, we're walking around the house, and you hear us discussing something in the formal dining room. And all of a sudden, I hear shots go off. Boom, 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 boom. And I said, oh, they must have found that snake. And he did. They estimated, because he did a round on it, they estimated probably about between 4 and 5 foot. Now, for a moccasin, that's a pretty dang big snake. That's a full-grown killer snake. They can hurt you. And people will say, well, why didn't he just shoo the snake off? Because it was a subdivision, and because people were next door. You can't shoo a dangerous snake from your house to one house and hope that it doesn't bite someone. Especially now that you have an estate sale going on and you got people milling about. You got to think about people's safety. So it had to go. And it did. So my husband, I said, that's what you get for being nosy. You're going out there and tending to somebody else's business. What you get. So, but I mean, luckily, at least Jason saw it. No one else might have mistaken it or gotten bit. So, thankfully, he didn't get bit, and they did dispatch the snake. But this is the first thing I saw that I picked up. And again, I think she was a dealer. I don't think she would have bought this stuff and just left the price tags on them. But they were little butter pats. And she had them marked at $9.50, a Rosenthal butter pat for $9.50. And you can see the stamp on the back. But they had them marked for $4 for 2 of them. I haven't looked these up. I don't know if they're worth anything. I just liked them. I do have some ironstone butter pats that I decorate with. I think they're behind me. Yeah, they're behind me somewhere. So that was the first thing I picked up. But like I said, I'll give you the whole total at the end, like I've been doing. I'll give you the whole total. I think it's a pretty good price for what I got because there are some antiques here. These, you saw me pick up several sets of salt and pepper shakers. There was the pink ones, the old fat pink ones. I wish I'd have got those now. These were marked, I thought it was $2 for the pair. It's marked at $2 a piece, but again, I think he took the bigger items with the bigger prices, just added that up and gave me a total. But these are marked at $2. Of course, she had tags on everything. At $2 a piece, but this is how they look. I like the shape of them. I don't know if it gives you that Art Deco feel. You can see kind of the crosshatch thing here. And I don't think these glow. My husband started picking up haul, and they had some haul pieces there, and he picked some up and put it back. He did not follow the rule of putting it in your buggy or putting it on a holding table until you decide if you want it or not. So someone else picked it up. Now, there was a couple of pieces scattered through the house that didn't have a lid, and he got both of them. This she had at $30, and she called it autumn leaf French casserole. I believe it's called jewel tea. I always call it tea leaves. But I want to say he's already got one of these. You can see the halls there. Then we were checking out, and the guy that was giving me the price tag, he said, he was looking at them, and I said, that one didn't have a price. You know, it was just scattered kind of in the house. And he says, yeah, he said, they had some the day before. He said, a guy broke out a black light, and a part of it glowed. And I said, halls? I've never, you know, I wouldn't think. He said, yeah. He said, one part, just one piece. He said, like this yellow stuff in the middle here. He said it glowed. And I'm assuming he got that piece. So, and then this. He's already got one of these with the lid. So this was without the lid. And again, halls. But fall is coming up, and he's kind of getting his hopes up about displaying. So he picked this up. I don't know what it is necessarily. Black print on white tape. Laminated tape for indoor, outdoor use. He found that somewhere in the house and brought it and put it in my bag. Because I keep my bag on my shoulder. And bigger pieces, I'll go find a whole table. And when I do, I'll go ahead and empty out my bag so I'm not swashing stuff around. This, I don't buy, like I said, I didn't buy a whole lot of depression wear glass. Jason's gotten to where he has an inhaler that he uses sometimes at night. And he says it makes him have a dry mouth, or he'll wake up with a dry mouth. And I tell him, I can tell you why you have a dry mouth is because your mouth is wide open trying to suck down the ceiling while you're snoring all night. For some reason, he doesn't find that amusing. But he's kind of keeping a water bottle next to the bed. And, you know, being a girl, I don't like the water bottle next to the bed. So I found this, and I really like these. I think it's a great concept. Again, I like function with a little pretty. This has a function. It's a water carafe. And it's thin. I mean, it's really, really thin up top. This was marked at $10. And I think it's one of the things he probably added up. It's a little dirty. It's got a little smudge in there, right there. But other than that, it's that pretty pink. I don't know if you can see the pink really showing up. Let me show you the bottom. Maybe you can see it on that. But it's a really light pink. I'm guessing, I don't know if this is depression wear or not, or somebody just made it in pink to look like depression wear. But, yeah. So this will hopefully go on his side of the bed and somewhat survive. We found these in the garage. They had on a shelf, they had a jar full of silverware. I kind of looked at it, but I didn't really look at it that much. My husband found this over on another shelf, and he hands it to me. It was tied in a bundle, so I'm sure it was in her store. Just didn't have a price tag on it. But It's the serving fork. It's got a serving spoon, a ladle, and a very sharp knife. I don't believe I've ever seen, I always see butter knives in the silver set, but this is like a steak knife actually. But there's the pattern of it. Again, you know, these spots here, a lot of people would have monogrammed their last initial. So, and then out in one of the other sheds, we were there. Like I said, there was 3 sheds. One shed was a garden shed. One was a storage shed. I went through those 2. I did briefly go through the one out where there was tools and all that kind of stuff, but there wasn't a whole lot of interesting stuff out there. And of course, going through the garden shed and the storage shed, in the back of my mind was that dang snake. So I had to be careful. My husband found this. We were in the potting shed, and I got a couple of terracotta pots. I also got, he did find this. And it's another serving spoon, I believe from the same pattern as this. And that, I think, was one of the easy things for this company probably, was because she did have everything labeled already. And she had some really good McCoy, Royal Copley, Roseville pottery. Now this didn't have a price on it. It was the second thing I picked up. This is going to be for sale. It's in the original box. And I haven't yet researched that glass maker. But it is a bridge set ashtray set. All 4 are in there. They are pink glass. Again, I don't know why I picked up pink, but pink glass. And they are intact except for the red ones. The suits are missing a little bit of the coal paint underneath. But there is a little bitty ashtray. You put your cigarette here and here. You know, if you're playing bridge. And there's the heart. You can see a little bit of the paint's gone. The black ones, however, I don't know if it's a difference in paint or they weren't used, but they're pretty good. But yeah, they don't have any chips that I have found. They're not cracked or anything. They're in the original box. The box does have a little bit of tape repair, but other than that, didn't have a price, so I just stuck it in the bag. I said, I'll see what we're going for. Shoot. No, didn't break it. Didn't break it. I thought it was sliding and I hit it. Anyway, you did see in the bedroom the linen. You saw me pick this up and you heard me say it's got to go home with me. I do have a bunch of these old-fashioned pot holders. Anyway, that came home with me. But also you saw these, and I've tried them on. I can fit them, but they're not comfortable. White gloves. Now, this is before my time, where ladies wore gloves everywhere they went. I liked it because I had a little flare out to the side, but also because of this little detail right here. I think that's just so delicate and pretty. They are stained a little bit. Not perfectly white. And there's the other one. So I picked those up. And again, he probably hit on the more expensive, bigger items. And then stuff like this kind of got thrown in. Not that, you know, not that you're going to say it's free. I mean, it might have been. I paid for the bigger items, but I paid full price for the bigger items. Not the quarter off that it should have been that day. But everything else got tossed. So this was in a closet. I think you saw me dig it out. There's one of those rooms back there. Not my normal subject matter, but I thought it was kind of cute. And I also liked it was an original frame. She had some bigger pictures or bigger prints of this. Sorry. I've got the ring light this way and I've got the window open that way. Trying to get as much light in here as possible. But you can see it's in the original. It's nailed in there, so it's original. Ready to go. It's got its own hanger, so we can put it up whenever I make up my mind I'm going to do it. Found this in the kitchen. I have been wanting one of these. I'd like it to be an old one, but it's not. I think they still reproduce these. You can buy them on Amazon, I think. It's just a scrub brush. But I like the old look to it. I know it's probably newer, but I like the old look to it. This I found in one of the bedrooms. They had some Christmas stuff in there. I didn't get to look. You'll notice that I went back to the same room a couple of times. It's because the first time I went in there, my hands were full of something and I couldn't really look through some of the boxes. Excuse me. And when I went back the second time, I think I had my mind focused on something else. And then I went the third time, my husband was with me and I picked this up. It was all tied up together and she had a label on it for antique or vintage paper. I think it was $5. This I don't know exactly what to do with this. I mean, this would be great around the 4th, especially if you're a junk journalist. It's wrapping paper, I believe. Or it could be tissue paper. It might be, no, I think it is tissue paper. And you can see there. But it is stars, just blue stars. Then she had 2 of these. Yeah, deluxe color. There's no barcode, so I don't know if this came in a group or if it's just that old. There was another one. This doesn't have as much, it doesn't feel like it has as much in it, but. And then these is really why I picked it up. I thought about Christmas is coming up when I sell stuff on eBay. If I want to wrap something in tissue paper. This one I think has got a little bit of it missing. But you can see the pattern. Look at the, look at this. Again, there's no barcode. So some of it does have a little bit of staining on it. This one has got a few more sheets in it than the other one, but you can see a little bit of staining on that one. And then this one is very nice. Brooks Elite Quality Tissue, 6 sheets, Holly, 20 by 30 inches. And you can see that look. Look at that. That doesn't say vintage. I don't know what does. So, pick that up. And again, probably could have gotten thrown in for free. This was probably the most expensive thing with an original price on it. This was the most expensive thing that I picked up. And I'm going to ask my nephew if he wants it. If he doesn't, then I already have a place picked out for it. Again, I don't like to decorate with a lot of black and white pictures of people I don't know. But somehow that goes out the window when you see groups of people in a historical setting. Now, I don't know where this is. We have kind of figured out that it was like a foundry worker or something like that. Some people have sledgehammers. Some has a measuring or a square. The thing looks like an L that you square off stuff before you cut wood. But here is the picture. And my nephew has kind of indicated that he wants to start decorating with like old newspaper or old pictures. So if he doesn't want it, I do have a spot, but I am going to offer it to him. But it was 20 bucks. But I think it's great. You can tell it's nailed in with wood behind it. So he'd have a time getting it out of this frame if he didn't like the frame. But I mean, to me, the frame is half the deal, right? Because it is a solid wood frame with inlay. So, yeah. Now, found, I kind of slowed down on picking up Bibles because I had them in that little round thing. But now I have them between bookends on my coffee table. So I've kind of picked up a few more cents. This one I could not find a copyright on, but it seems old. Just black Bible. Excuse me, it was presented to someone by their mother in 1957. So we can cover that up. I don't know if you can still see the date. So it was at least 1957, right? But you can see how old the pages are. It's that red instead of gold leaf. But that was in a closet and probably free. This was in the garden shed where I told you I saw the yellow depression glass, cocktail glasses. They had boxes, totes of information books. Now I have some information books, research books on different kinds of whatever you collect. Now I do like Homer Laughlin. I have several pieces of his restaurant ware. Restaurant ware is not in this book. I think it's a 1995 or 1997 copyright. And you'll see I have it bookmarked already because there's one that has caught my eye, and that's not it. I think I just stuck the bookmark in there, sorry. There it is. Right there. I have never seen this, I don't believe, anywhere, but that just screams the 1930s to me. Is that green, the square design, the green lines. I just like it. It's simple and it's pretty. So I'll put my bookmark there. So that was in the shed. Now, last 2 items. These were in the bedroom. And when I put them out front, the guy's like, I didn't know who was going to finally get those things. Let me see if I get them right. They are the tapestry pillows. Now there are two, in my mind, there are two kinds of tapestry. There's this kind of the big knotted tapestry, and then you have the really fine, which is the 80s, 90s version of tapestry. And this may be 80s or 90s, I don't know. Not that up on when stuff was made. This kind of stuff was made, but you can see I like the look of it. I like the colors. I'm not particularly fond of the black, but I do like that. So you can unzip them, and we're gonna do that. Probably hand wash the covers. I think they'll go on the couch really well for fall, maybe Christmas. I don't know. Not for Christmas. We're gonna have those twill pillow covers. Hopefully we'll have those by Christmas. My husband hasn't made an effort, and this is the other one. So there were two of them, not marked, but again, he just looked at everything I had and gave me one price. And then this was in the garage. It is dirty, filthy dirty. It looks to me, I was looking at it this morning, I said it looks like it was made out of a drawer. And it probably was, but it is a paper cutter. You have the roll here. Oh, excuse me, you can't see it. You have the roll here that you can bring out. And then you have the, this is where you would cut the paper against. There's a little metal spot right here where you would take it and just rip the paper off. And it was marked at, oh, that's her tag, excuse me. It was marked at $10. Yeah, so I think he just took the bigger items like one of these, just gave me a price off of that. So I think that's the haul. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's going to be probably long. Jason filmed, I filmed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed the estate sale. I did. It was somewhat dramatic with the snake, but all of that glass, man, oh man. And you had to go through it several times just because you get so starstruck in a manner of just looking that you didn't really look in between the seams and the lines. So, I was looking for the little bottom on the hen on the nest, the little milk glass hen on the nest top that I showed you a video or two ago. I was looking for the bottom of that. They didn't have one unless it walked out the door Friday. They did have several Thursday, excuse me. They did have several tops sitting there, but no bottoms. So anyway, better luck next time, I guess. So thank you for joining us here at South Georgia Home on this Saturday morning. And I hope you enjoyed this haul. I hope you enjoyed going with us to the estate sale. If you would you please subscribe, like, leave a comment, suggest this to other friends. We do like reading those comments, so thank you for that. Thank you for any new subscribers that we have for joining us. And I hope you like what you see. So until next time, bye.